They are the katutubong Pilipino, the original inhabitants of our country. They live in their ancestral lands and domains, dwelling in harmony with nature. According to the United Nations Development Program in 2013 publication, Philippines is a culturally diverse country with an estimated 14 to 17 million indigenous people belonging to 110 ethno-linguistic groups. Most of the common indigenous tribes are the Lumad, Samabadjao, Yakan, Negrito, Agta, Igorot, Aita, Mangyan, Manubo, Tagbanwa, and other tribal tribes in the Philippines. Have you ever encountered one of them? The IPs belong to the different ethnic groups. They are distinct and has a unique way of life. They are creative, rich and diverse in culture, and they hold onto their beliefs and principles. They are also the stewards or frontiers of our forests and nature. But why are they often the subject of discrimination, injustice, criticism, and abuse? This is the saddest reality in the life of IPs that are still happening in our society today. Most of the IPs face different challenges in poverty, in lack access to education and healthcare services, in lack access to different opportunities, leading them to be more vulnerable to be a victim of violence, abuse, injustice, discrimination, and criticism. They are even forced to be displaced on their ancestral lands, where there is denial on their land rights. This unfair treatment and social injustices in any forms IP have experienced must end now, and we should hear their voices. I hope that you and me and all of us should be aware of what is happening in our society. And as a student, a parent, or a citizen in our country, how can we impart our help and support for the IPs? Here are some ways to impart our help and support for the IPs. First, educate yourself about the IPs. Second is to support or be involved in organizations or programs that helps the IPs, such as the Tuklas Katutubo. We can donate, listen, and volunteer on projects and activities in our communities that aims to help, aid, provide opportunities, and uplift the lives of our indigenous people in our communities. We can offer our time, skills, and knowledge. Third is to recognize and protect indigenous people's land rights. Indigenous people mostly depend on their lands. It is their life, and without their land, IPs have no livelihood, no identity, and no means of survival. So if we ever encounter IPs in streets, don't hesitate to help them. Give something they need, such as food or money, because some of them may be a victim of forced displacements on their own ancestral lands. Fourth is to promote and support indigenous artists, journalists, business owners, and their products. When the pandemic began, their lives also become even tougher. And this way, we are not only helping them, but also empowering indigenous people, while helping our economy boost too. Supporting local arts and culture, while showcasing creative indigenous people, journalists, and artists, offering them more opportunities for economic development that can be a path for them out from poverty. Last but not the least, be kind and compassionate wherever you go. Be kind and compassionate wherever we are, especially to the IPs. They are also humans, capable to love and being loved. They also faces different struggles and challenges like us. And whenever we see IPs, we should not judge. Instead, let us listen, respect, and show kindness to them. And we could have a better and wonderful world. Mabuhay ang ating katutubong Pilipino!